Hello everyone, my name is Max, and today I'm going to show you my single portal gold farm that is optimized to be used with that single portal, unlike my other gold farm which uses 4 portals. Now this produces about 25,000 XP per hour, which is pretty good, and a quarter of the rates of my previous gold farm. So yeah, this is to be expected. Of course it produces a little more than 1/4 of my old gold farm would be, because I did put more relighters and stuff into this design right here. But yeah, this is pretty much the design I showed before, but just a single portal. And yeah, it's pretty much simplified, so this is pretty cool, and I'm going to show you how to build it today. Now this gold farm right here uses a single max size portal, and it is so fast because we are actively turning off and relighting the portal. Now pigmen have a chance to spawn when the portal is being relit. Now do note that this is not any form of zero tick, it's just when a portal is being relit, there's a chance for pigmen to spawn. Nothing zero tick. Don't go to me saying it's zero tick, it's not zero tick. And the simple idea is that once these pigmen do spawn, they fall into these, these transfers right there, and there's a tripwire hook that detects the pigmen being there, and it activates a clock which activates these sand pushers. Now if you haven't seen those, there's basically about 13 or 12 sands stacked in there, and it will push the pigmen that according amount right into the trident killer, and from there they will just be killed by this advanced trident killer right here, which is pretty much the fastest you can have. It will handle the amount of pigmen just fine, and all the XP will get to you. And well, yeah, this is pretty much how it works. And of course you're going to be holding a looting 3 sword to get more loot out of this farm right here, and yeah, this is pretty cool. Now there's going to be a full materials list for this down in the description, so you're definitely going to need to look out for that, because the materials are kind of important. But with that being said, I say we get into building this. Before you build this though, you need to go into settings, there's game, and you need to make sure that fire spreads is on. As you can see, it needs to be set to true, otherwise this farm will not work. And quite obviously you also need mob spawning set to true, but that is kind of obvious since you are farming a mob. Now first of all, before we do anything else, we are going to grab ourselves a locator map and make sure that your little arrow points either to the right or down. This is how you're going to want to build your gold farm. Alright, so we're going to build it that it's facing right. So we're just going to place down our input chest, and then you can just place down some 2 hoppers right here. Now make sure to put some salt blocks right here, and we're going to place some rails on top, and then put a hopper minecart on top. Now push it a little so that it's between those 2 hoppers. It doesn't have to be exact, just make sure that both hoppers pick up. We can easily test this by grabbing ourselves some blocks, put them in there, and as you can see, 2 items are being pulled out at once. This means that both hoppers do indeed pick up items from this hopper minecart right here. Now this is perfect. Now what we're just going to do then is make sure that we have this right here. What we can do is take some slabs and put them on top like this. That way we can still access from the input of this chest right here. Put some blocks, just like this. Actually remove that. So what you're going to want to do is place 1 block on each side so that it looks like this, so that we can place some rails in each corner like that. Now grab yourself some observers. Make sure they look at the rails, just like this. As you can see, that will be our controlling loop, let's say that, for our trident killer. And we're going to place in our pistons. And as you can see, that will basically push the trident around once we do actually put it in. But for now we can just make our little platform, which we're going to stand on to collect the experience. And we're going to take a lever and turn our trident killer off, just like that. This will power the rail and basically stop the loop. Place some blocks, except for right here, so that nothing escapes, and place a slab right here. That way the experience will escape and reach you. Now we're just going to take some glass and go up by 18 on every one of these spots right here. So basically just go, yeah, by 18. This one included, of course. Alright, so once we did that, we can just punch our glass open for a second, throw 1 trident in, close that back up, and let's see if it turns on properly. As you can see, if we turn it on, it gets pushed around, and here's our upper chest. Now, what you can do, it's optional, and however you may do it is up to you. Just add some ladders right here, so you can just easily get up. You can also easily get up and access your loot chest. Now, of course, since this produces a lot of gold and rotten flesh, I would maybe do a bigger storage than this, but this is just how I propose to do it, and of course, it's all up to you to change it. So we're standing on top of what we built right here, and this is of course the platform where we put our little lever, etc. And what you're just going to want to do is go by one block right here, and then go out by 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And on the other side go by 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now place a quarter block and go up by 21. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then just go up by 21 once again. And then here, one block, corner block once again. Go up. We just built it like this. And this is our max size portal. Now what we're going to want to do is just put some blocks right here. I like the last because it's transparent and you can see what's going on, but it can of course be solid blocks. Now take some more blocks and pull them along like this. Don't do the last block right here, and do the same on the other side, so except for that block. And then just go down by 1 and put 2 pistons just like this, and then you can put 1 stair right here, 1 slab. Do the same on the other side, go down by 1 block, 2 pistons, 1 stair, 1 slab. And this has to be because we are going to use a bug that makes sure that the sand does not actually turn into a block or drop as an item. Now place 1 piston right here, and you're going to grab yourself some observers and some sticky pistons. Place your sticky piston facing down like this, 1 observer like this, place a temporary block, an actual observer, and do the same on the other side. So just place a piston, place a downwards facing sticky piston, 1 observer, 2nd observer. Alright, now you're going to want to take a tripwire hook, put them on each side of these sticky piston, and of course take yourself some string and hook it up. So that way it's going to look like this. And this is going to trigger both sides whenever there's a mob there, in our case, zombie pigman. Now you're going to want to break your actual string for a moment, so just interrupt it right in front of the piston on both sides. Now you're going to want to look at this. So this was the long side, and you're going to want to place 12 sand in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was 13, I suppose, because it's glitched somehow, but that doesn't really matter. And here you're going to want to put either 11, but I'm just going to do 12. Actually, do 13 and 12. That makes sure that no pigman will pathfind against it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. Now, if you are building this in survival, I would suggest just closing that off for a second, because you're not going to want to push yourself into this actual trident killer and take a lot of fall damage. So just place the string back, and as you can see, if you stand on top of there, you get pushed right here. And yeah, this is pretty much how this movement system works. You get pushed into this trident killer by this string right here. Well, not by string, by these sand pushers. Now, this is just a visual glitch. This does not affect anything. Now, quite simply, just go up and just make something like this so that no actual pigmen or baby pigmen escape. That is also why we just where we have it too high and not this one missing. It's because they are baby pigmen, and they do exist and they do like to escape. Now back on the side where our little platform is, we're going to build something looking like this. So 5, now 5, and just like this. Now go up all the way. Go up all the way right here as well. And what you're going to want to do right here is make a little tower using droppers and torches. So 1 dropper, torch, dropper, torch, dropper, torch, you get the idea. Make it go all the way up. And we actually have this dropper tower right here because we're going to fast update the lava. And this is basically going to make it trigger the fire on the following trapdoors that we're going to place faster. And this is to relight our portal. Now just place trapdoors going all the way up right here. Do the same on the other side. Let's keep them closed just because it looks nicer. I mean open. And close, I guess, whatever. But yeah, just make it go all the way up. There we go. Take some more. Actually, first take your dispenser. Don't put anything in there yet. Just put some salt blocks, just to make sure that, you know, it looks nice, whatever. And you're going to want to place a second column of blocks right here. And we're going to place buttons on the side. Now, make sure that the buttons are always on the same height as the torches. So, every second block, a wooden button. And of course, it has to be a wooden button. Place a column right here as well, except skip the bottom block. And repeat the same thing. So, just buttons on that side. Okay, now just pull some salt blocks, make them go up. Do the same thing right here. You can fill in that middle column, but it is really not necessary. And what we're going to want to do now is put a lava source on every second block. Now, you will notice that this is going to light your portal. If you want to prevent that, just place a block right here before you do that. And just put one actual lava every second, you know, space between buttons. And don't do the bottom one right here, because this is how we're going to trigger our actual, you know, column. So just place a lava source on every second one. Very simple. Now, of course, there's some fire, whatever. Just extend that out by 2 blocks and take yourself some redstone dust, just like this. And this is how we are going to actually trigger our column. Now, just take yourself a sticky piston, add a redstone block, and just go up by 2 blocks. Sticky piston, redstone block. Break that. You do notice that this turns on our portal. Again, you can prevent that easily. And we're just going to make a little simple clock. So just make something like this, a little V shape. Break that, go down by like that. And before we do anything, we're just going to take a lever, because we do not want to trigger this all the time while we're building. Put a redstone torch right here. Repeater, very simple. And since we're already here, we're just going to make sure that we have an actual input system where we can toggle this clock on and off. Now just go to the 4th block of this class. As you can see, there's 3 blocks in between. If we do that, go up by 1 and 1 again, fairly simple. And then just make a simple torch tower. And this is going to be how we are going to toggle this clock right here, which of course controls our entire system. Now you can break that for a second. Yeah, it's going to make a lot of noise. Just go down to the bottom and put an actual lever there, and that will of course toggle our system. Now place a sticky piston right here, redstone block, go down by 2, and then go out by 3, so 1, 2, 3. Place some redstone dust just like this. And we are going to do pretty much the same thing as we did before. So just like that. As you can see, that is the same shape we had before. And we are going to once again take ourselves some droppers and make a column with these droppers. And then place the actual trapdoors. And we're going to do that on both sides, of course. Fill all those blocks in. Place our buttons, of course, and again as before, on the same height as the torches, going all the way up. And repeat that on the other side as well. Close that back up. And unlike on the other side, no dispenser right here, so we don't have a dispenser here. However, we're going to, of course, repeat the same process with the lava. So just put some lava right here. And of course, not any lava right here, just like before. And there we go, that is a relighting system. Now there is a little thing that when we have our water in here, this is going to be our breaking system. Let's just put that in here. When we have run in here, it can be affected by random tick speed and flow a little further than it should. And for that, we're just going to place in some buttons. So 1 right here and 1 right here, fairly simple. That way it will just flow there and not affect anything in the way it shouldn't. And that is pretty much very simple. Now put your water bucket right here. We've already done that apparently. Just break that block right here. And as you can see, if we toggle this down here, Of course, we're going to toggle the triangular first and turn mob spawning true. I turn that off just for building because it gets kind of annoying. As you can see, these pigmen will spawn and they will all get pushed right into the trident killer. And yeah, that is pretty much the entire thing complete. Now for optimal results, you are going to want to hold a looting 3 sword, and that is going to give you more loot, of course. Not more experience, but definitely more loot. And yeah, this is the entire thing complete. As you can see, this will give you a very nice amount of experience fairly easily and fairly quickly, and I definitely recommend building this in your survival world. This is simpler than my previous gold farm. It produces less, of course, because it only uses 1 instead of 4 max size portals, but I think the trade-off might be worth it for some people because it is quite a lot more simple. Now, if you did enjoy this tutorial, I would very much appreciate it if you do hit the subscribe button, because I do put a lot of time into these tutorials and you will definitely see more of those coming in the future. And I also have a Patreon page where you can directly support me instead of through ad viewing. And that, of course, will be very nice because, as you can see, it does take a lot of time to make these. And, well, I have a Discord server. Just a nice place to hang out. Nothing to pay for or whatever. It's just cool. Hang out, you know, have a nice time with everyone. And I would very much enjoy if you join this place. So with that being said, I hope you very much enjoyed this tutorial and you get a ton of views out of this. My name's Nex, and bye bye!